We need to sit down at the beginning of each month and map out the month. At the beginning of the week, I know on Sunday what I'm doing for the week. We have to plan. Planning is an essential part of running a business. So you need to love it. You need to want to do it, and you need to get excited by it. And I'm looking forward to hearing about the plans that you've got coming up with your business.
Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, coaches, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to the needs of you, the practicing natural therapist. We have interviews during the holiday season and business and mindset support each week, so you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in your practice. Don't forget to subscribe to receive the weekly episodes. And if you want to connect with me, always check the show notes, because that's where you'll find the links to book appointments and, of course, to join the Academy, the membership group, where there's constant connection and community with like-minded practitioners. Now, let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to August and Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite-Sized Podcast. How are we going? How are you getting on with the other podcasts so far? I've had a few emails, but I'd like to hear from you. I'd like you to tell me how you're going. So when you see one of the small snippets up in social media, comment on one of those, email me or DM or do the thing, message me, tell me how you're going. Because today I want to talk about planning. Now, we've talked about planning quite a bit, and I'm sure you know that I plan. I've got a huge calendar on my desk in my office, and I plan in advance. And I'm sure I've told you already that when October rolls around, I will have already planned for next year. Now, this year, of course, as you know, I was not away in July, but I still had July sort of off a bit. I took lots of days off and did my own thing in July and just took a break, really, because I'm so used to having July off. So we need to plan, and my life is changing a lot. My husband is going 0.8, which I thought was sort of understood language, but apparently it's not. It's a government language. So when we work full-time, we are 1.0, and then as we reduce our hours, we drop a point. So 0.8 means he works 4 days a week, except he doesn't because of his business as industry, the way he works. So it just means he has 1 week off in 5. When we plan things, so my planning is different. Things are having to change for me. Lots of what I'm offering is changing, and how I'm doing things is changing, because 1 week in 5, if he's going to be off, well, excuse me, but I'm going to be off too. So things have to change. And that means planning has to happen, and planning has to change as well, because we cannot just do things on the fly. All right. If we do, we will struggle in business. And simple things in planning. So having set calendar dates and times when you're available, sitting down and going, yeah, I can do this at that time. I can see a client between this time and that time, especially if you're very part-time in your natural therapies business, then it might be that you're only seeing 1-2 clients a week because you've only got 1 or 2 hours because you're working 1.0 or full-time. And so it's not possible to have lots of clients. Or maybe you've got childcare to contend with, or whatever it is. But it means that you should still be very structured in your time and your availability for people to see you. And when we're structured and when we're really thinking about that plan and planning forward and our strategy, we do also have to take into account our marketing and mapping services. So some of my mapping has evolved. So I normally now do a Black Friday deal. So although I'm going to be calling it a Green Friday these days, because Black Friday does give everybody in Australia the heebie-jeebies, because that is generally designated as Black Friday or Black Monday, or means it was bushfire and something terrible happened. So I think I'm going to start calling mine a Green Friday, but it still means that I have something happening in November every year. The beginning of the year, I'm always offering something or other. In July, I offered my coaching program and the graduate program. So we need to think about what's going to happen in the future. And when you're doing it for your first year, it means you're doing it all fresh. But it is a case of rinse and repeat. So once you've done your first year, if you've done the strategy and you've set everything out, you've numbered things, you've planned things, then you can reuse those things the following year. You can change them up a bit, but you know that you need 5 emails to go out, for example, prior to the big launch of something or other. You've got to plan, and we have to forecast. We have to forecast income from it. When we plan and forecast income, we do have to be realistic. So we could be saying, if I sold 100 of this thing, then I would make $100,000. If I sold, but how many things have you sold at that price to start with? If everything you're selling is selling at $100 or $150, then how many of them do you have to sell to get to where you want to be? What is that ultimate goal? And then maybe work backwards from there. We do need to develop that habit of sitting down once a month at least and going, what's coming up? What do I need to plan for? How can I develop this idea? How long is developing this idea going to take? How long is it going to get me to create this thing, to deliver it, to achieve that goal? And how am I going to do that? We have to know planning is something you need to learn to love, and it is fun. I have made planning for myself lots of fun. I look at it and I'm looking at my calendar on my computer, on my Acuity calendar. I'm looking on my phone at all the things that I do because things don't necessarily always integrate properly. And I'm looking at the big picture, which is my paper calendar. That's the big picture. And it just makes life so much easier having planned. Okay? When we're building our business, we have to plan. We have to plan, what are my strategies? How am I going to do social media? If I'm going to deliver 3 social media items per week, how am I going to do that? When am I going to create those things? And what are they going to be? One is going to be sales. One is going to be telling people, getting them to resonate with me, telling them what I do and how they can work with me maybe, or getting them to understand their pain points. And another one is going to be something fun and interesting, or whatever it's going to be. You're going to have 3 different ones a week, or maybe you're only going to have 2. Maybe one's going to be a carousel, one's going to be a static post, and you're going to do reels. What is it you're going to do? Create, sit, plan, decide. Because if you're going to do a podcast, so August, I've decided you're getting 2 a week. So I made that plan. I made that plan in July. I didn't make the plan today and go, oh, what will I talk about? No, I made the plan a month ago. I thought August is a growth month for me. It's always been a growth month for me because I've come off my holiday. I'm motivated. I want to meet people, see people. I want to offer things. I want to create. So let's get out there. Let's do some extra podcasts because this is exactly how I'm starting to feel now in July, thinking about August. So I know that I can do these podcasts now because in August, when this is out, I'm in New Zealand. I've gone over to deliver at the, I'm going to have to do this really slowly again, NMHNZ conference, and I'm going to be there. So I can't do live podcasts, but I will be doing live things into the group. I will be talking into the group about what I'm seeing, what I'm learning, and what's going on for me. But I know for me, August is a growth month. There will be things happening. I'll be promoting things. I'll be at my mum's. Not a lot happens in an elderly village. So I will still be working while I'm there. And then people will be seeing my mum as she wanders into the room. Oh, you are here. I have got a guest, and wanders out again. But we have to plan. Planning is super important. And once we begin to understand our ebb and our flow of our business, so I know I'm slow in July, but I'm busy at the beginning of June in preparation for it, and then I'm busy again in August. So I've planned for that. I know that's going to happen. I'm excited by that because it's August. As soon as I get back from New Zealand, heading into September, October, I'm going to have my calendar out for next year. I'm going to be planning next year and looking at it and going, well, when am I going to go on holiday? Chances are we might still be here in August, but in July. So August will be the same. I will still be doing the August thing and going, okay, I know it's a motivating month for me. I know I can achieve something. So we need to sit down at the beginning of each month and map out the month. At the beginning of the week, I know on Sunday what I'm doing for the week. we have to plan. Planning is an essential part of running a business. So you need to love it. You need to want to do it, and you need to get excited by it. And I'm looking forward to hearing about the plans that you've got coming up with your business. So just tell me anywhere in the groups, email me. And the usual thing, if you've made it to the end of the podcast, don't forget to rate and review. Just scroll down on your phone. So I hope you have a good one, and I hope this has really left you with some food for thought about planning and moving forward and how you're going to challenge yourself. Remember right at the beginning there, I talked about you challenging yourself, about making sure that you were willing to put yourself out there, to be uncomfortable, and planning will put you on the spot because you're going to have deadlines for things. So let's get on with it and let's make some plans. August is a great planning month. And if you want some help planning, let me know. Let's connect. And I look forward to chatting with you really soon.
Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.